What's good, y'all? It's Channel from NYC, and today we're gonna compare some black thrillers. Now, let me start off by saying this. I love all the main actors in the movies that we're going to be talking about in this video. There's no shade here at all, straight respect, and a little criticism. When I think about Black Hollywood, the actors and actresses in these movies are the people that come to mind for me. You know, we have our Nia Longs, our Regina Kings, so on and so forth. These people are icons to me, and I've really enjoyed watching them in so many different shows and movies over the years. So a few weeks ago, I was watching The Intruder with my mom. The Intruder stars Michael Ealy and Megan Good. Now in The Intruder, Michael Ealy is just a guy trying to protect his wife, protect his home. He's a good guy. I chose to watch The Perfect Guy more recently, which also stars Michael Ealy, and he's not such a great guy, and that's kind of why I wanted to watch it. It also stars Sanaa Lathan and Morris Chestnut, so you see black royalty everywhere. So as I said, Michael's character in this movie is the complete opposite of his character in The Intruder, so I was really hyped to see him take on a role where he has to, switch things up. But you know what? I must say, as I watched the movie, I realized a trend that I've noticed over the last couple of years. And The Perfect Guy confirmed it for me. I feel like we've been watching the same movie be created with the same group of black actors. All of these actors are connected in some way. You know what it is? I think it's because of movies like Brown Sugar and The Best Man. I always group all these actors together in my head. And I'm like, wait. It's because in Brown Sugar we have Sanaa Lathan and Taye Diggs. In The Best Man we have Taye Diggs, Morris Chestnut, Nia Long, Sanaa Lathan, Regina Hall, among so many other dope actors. They're all to me of the same era, and then when you have that coupled with similar plots for different movies, it feels like I'm watching the same thing over and over again. Now, in general, do I hate these movies? Absolutely not. I'm not gonna turn down a chance to see these actors working, but my critiques still stand. First of all, look at the cover art for each movie. They all use the same colors, and I get it, there's an element of suspense, there's a thriller vibe going on there, and what drives that home more than colors like black, red, and white? But y'all can get more creative than that. Spikes, use pink, purple, I don't know, something like that just to throw us off. It's the same color, everything looks the same. So let's list the movies that we're gonna be talking about today. So we have The Perfect Guy, again, which stars Michael Ealy, Morris Chestnut, Sanaa Lathan. We have Fatale, which came out this summer in July on Netflix, and that stars Nia Long and Omar Epps. We have The Intruder, which also stars Michael Ealy and Megan Good. I think it came out back in 2015. We have a movie called When the Bow Breaks with Morris Chestnut and Regina Hall. And then kind of talking about this movie, kind of not really, Till Death Do Us Part has Taye Diggs and Stephen Bishop. So I mentioned Till Death Do Us Part because Stephen Bishop plays a good guy in Fatal Affair. I didn't mention him, I kind of forgot, but Stephen Bishop is Nia Long's husband in Fatal Affair. He's a good guy. And he plays a bad guy, a really, really bad guy, until Death Do Us Part. We see Morris play a good guy in Fatal Affair, well, kind of, depending on your personality and what you would want in a relationship. And he's also in When the Bow Breaks. Fatal Affair and The Perfect Guy have a very similar plot, in my opinion. They both feature an attractive, unhinged black man who stalks a successful, attractive black woman and hurts everyone in his path to get what they want. There's only one difference to me, and I'm gonna tell you what that is. In The Perfect Guy, Sanaa Lathan and Morris Chestnut were married and they later separated, and that's kind of why she was interested in seeing Michael Ealy's character, because she's like, I'm fresh out the relationship, I'm trying to, move on. In Fatal Affair, Nia is still Stephen Bishop's character. There was never a time where they were separated. She had an affair with Omar's character, but it was really, really brief and it only happened once. Not that it's okay, I'm just saying. But other than that, everything was almost the same to me. Even the way the movies ended and the way that Michael Ealy's character and Omar Epps' character progressively got more and more wild and intense with their violence was very, very similar to me. In each of these movies, all of them that I've mentioned, we see the same elements. You have a person who makes some kind of mistake. Now that could be stepping out on their partner or being too trusting. Then there's some kind of deception going on. A friend or a loved one of the victim, the person who's being stalked or focused on, might be caught up in the wrong place at the wrong time. They get caught up. It is rest in peace for them. We're just seeing the same thing in different settings. Our main characters almost always have money, which is good to see. We're not struggling. We definitely see in The Perfect Guy, Fatal Affair, and When the Bow Breaks for sure. Our main characters are doing well. Their houses are freaking amazing. I would love to live there. They also live in semi-isolated communities, which is so annoying to watch in any kind of movie because it makes it easier for the unhinged person to wreak havoc because it's you're in the middle of nowhere. In The Intruder, I don't remember what Michael Ealy's character does, but they got a G-Wagon. Do you know how much a G-Wagon costs? Okay. Also, when it comes to the house that they chose to buy from Dennis Quaid and his wild self in the movie, they put down at least $1 million. The house was gorgeous. They live in the woods in the middle of nowhere, and he travels really far to work. And the perfect guy, Sanaa's character is a lobbyist and she makes good money. Her stalker, who's Michael Ealy in this movie, he has a job in tech, I believe. Sanaa does have a couple of neighbors, but there's just like one nosy white lady, and spoiler, she does not make it. Like, clearly she was not nosy enough. In the movie When the Bow Breaks, I actually kind of like this one. It's actually a little bit unique now that I think about it compared to the rest that we're talking about today. The unhinged person in this movie is a woman. She's played by Jazz Sinclair, who has the same birthday as me, gang gang. Anyway, out of the batch of movies, like I said, the plot for this movie is actually the most interesting to me. It's not amazing, it's not, you know, flawless, impeccable, but it's better. We're dealing with a couple who's played by Regina Hall and Morris Chestnut. Beautiful. They're having some infertility issues and they choose to trust the woman to carry their child, which is Jazz Sinclair's character, and she's wild. She's not who they think she is, and they find it out quite soon. I'm not gonna lie, when I watched the movie, I'm like, okay, like, I feel like I've seen this on Law & Order a couple times over the years, but I can get with it. I don't mind. And I don't remember what they did in When the Bow Breaks, the main couple, but they had bread. Like, they had money, their house was mad nice. And they live in a nice neighborhood. On to Fatal Affair again. We see Nia Long's character, successful lawyer, freaking gorgeous house. Like, when I tell you, I rewound and paused. Like, I'm from New York, we got apartments galore over here, so I'm just like, this house is amazing. The house was just beautiful. Anyway, it's not about a house, that's not why you're listening. They move into a gorgeous house by the beach with her husband, who's played by Stephen Bishop. And in this movie, I believe that Stephen Bishop is an architect. So, I mean, money, 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 like, come on. And again, living by the beach, have neighbors, but you also got some space. So that's a bit of a difference there. So I did a little digging, you guys. So I found out that Deon Taylor is the director of the movie The Intruder. He has directed another movie called Fatale. Now, this movie has been done for a minute now. I think they were doing filming in like 2018. I think they might have been done since 2018 or 2019. It's had its release date pushed back quite a few times, and I think it's now supposed to come out next October. It's supposed to come out this October and this summer, but you know what? Pandemic said, nah, we're not doing that. It stars Hilary Swank and Michael Ealy, and I can't really get a feel of the plot, but you can tell it's a thriller. It's classed as a thriller. On YouTube right now, there is a 15-second trailer. I don't know what we're supposed to do with that, but from what I can see, we can see Michael and Hilary laid up. We can see Hilary screaming, or hear her screaming rather. We see cops pull up to somebody's front door, and then we hear Michael say, or at least warn Hilary, don't tempt me. And I'm like, Lord, please don't let this be what I think this is. Please don't let this be another situation where Michael's character is the unhinged one. Because it's like, I saw that already. The difference is that you're dealing with Hilary Swank, a white woman. I don't care. Love some Hilary Swank though. Love me some Michael Ealy. But like, what are we doing here? Am I going to give up the opportunity to see Michael Blue Eyes Ealy on my screen? No. I'm just saying, I like a little bit of difference. I'll take what I can get for now. Like, let's be honest with ourselves. We are seeing movies with more than one or two black people as main characters having legit theater releases and getting good budgets. There was definitely a time where you had to have, I feel like, at least one significant white character just to ensure that you could get a good budget, just to ensure that you could have your movie released to a handful of theaters in the country, not just like a couple here or there, or like boutique theaters. I am glad that I can, go look up a movie that has more than one random black character in it and like, eat my little popcorn or whatever. I'm grateful that I have the opportunity to see people who look like me on TV or in the movies be successful, but just be dealing with some unhinged person. My thing is this, y'all. The tropes and plots that we're seeing in these movies are so cliched, and that's for actors of any race. It just so happens that it's being used heavily for our black actors right now, and I'm kind of annoyed. I'm like a little bit annoyed by it. All I'm saying is I'd like to see more variety in the work. I'm excited to see what we get moving forward, and yeah, that's all. So I'm curious to know what you think. Do you even care about this topic? Are you like, why is this girl complaining we have our actors in movies like accepted? What are your thoughts? Do you see where I'm coming from? I'd love to know what you think. As always, thank you for hanging out with me if you made it this far. Comments down below, and I'll see you next time.